Welcome to the 1951 Formula One season, the second season of the pinnacle of motorsport, where a number of cars go around in circles and Alfa Romeo reached the checkered flag first. Let's see if that was going to change in 1951. There were a few changes in the calendar in 1951. The Monaco Grand Prix was dropped due to concerns surrounding the budget and the lack of regulations. The mighty Nürburgring was added, alongside the Pedralbes circuit, a circuit running through the streets of Barcelona where the season finale was to be held. These pesky street circuits taking over the calendar once again, and on the final race too. Where's the soul of this sport heading? In a calendar full of races held in Europe, the Indy 500 continued to stick out like a sore thumb. In fact, this would go on until 1960. None of the entries in the other races took part in the iconic race, and none of the Indy 500 participants entered any European race. The point system remained unchanged. The top 5 received points, with the winner receiving 8, and a point was awarded to the driver who set the fastest lap, regardless of where or if they finished. But each driver's 4 best results counted towards the championship standings. Going into the season, the most notable driver move was Luigi Fagioli being removed from his full-time drive at Alfa Romeo. The 52-year-old Italian had taken the title fight to the last race against his teammates Farina and Fangio the year before. The third and fourth best teams from the previous year, Talbot Lago and Maserati, decided not to field a works team. So, apart from the Alfa Romeos and Ferraris, the grid comprised privateer entries. Ferrari had shown some promise in the last race of the 1950 season with their new engine, but let's see if Alfa Romeo's domination would continue, or if Ferrari could put up a more serious fight in 1951. In the season opener in Switzerland, Alfa Romeo resumed their dominance. All 4 of their cars both qualified and finished the race in the top 5, with Piero Taruffi finishing second with his Ferrari after a final lap overtake on Farina. Meanwhile, Fangio clinched the pole, the fastest lap and the win. Alberto Ascari in the Ferrari narrowly missed out on points despite suffering burns the week before in a Formula 2 race. Only 13 racers entered the next race in Spa, which wasn't unheard of due to the danger the circuit presented to the drivers. The pecking order seemed to be the same though, as pole-sitter Fangio and Farina were leading the Ferraris of Villoresi and Ascari. Fangio was running with a new suspension setup with wheels that were concave to make room for the brake drums, and this cost him dearly, as one of the wheels got stuck during his pit stop, resulting in him remaining stationary for 14 minutes. His 9th place finish would mark the only race in his career where he was outside the top 4 in a race he reached the finish line. Yet, he still managed to get the fastest lap point. Meanwhile, defending champion Farina comfortably won the race. The next race in France saw the return of Fagioli in an Alfa Romeo. The long straights and slow corners of the circuit caused mechanical troubles for many, including frontrunners Fangio, Ascari and Farina. José Froilán González was leading in his Ferrari with Fagioli second, but both were asked to hand over their cars to their teammates Ascari and Fangio. Sharing cars was allowed until 57, and teams took advantage of this to favor their driver, which had a better chance in the championship. After the changeovers, Fangio overtook Ascari, who was suffering from issues with brakes in the new car, and went on to win the race. The shared cars meant that he shared the win with Fagioli, who became the oldest race winner at 53 years and 22 days, a record which still comfortably stands today. This win also made him the only driver born in the 19th century to win a Formula One Grand Prix. Despite that, Fagioli was livid with being made to share the car, and retired from Formula One on the spot. Points were shared equally between the drivers who shared cars, by the way, creating this table for the points awarded. You really needed to be good at mental maths to figure out the standings back then. The British Grand Prix saw the first ever pole position for a non-Alfa Romeo car, as González of Ferrari qualified first. The Alfa Romeo engine showed its age during the Grand Prix as well. The pre-Second World War design was pretty much consuming as much fuel as a jet engine compared to the new design of the Ferraris. This cost them dearly during the race, as both Fangio and Farina had to do 2 pit stops, whereas the Ferraris only needed to do 1. And since pit stops caused around a 2-minute time loss, this was race-defining. And indeed, González went on to win, albeit with only a 51-second gap to Fangio. But who cares? Ferrari had finally beaten the deadlock. Meanwhile, Ascari in one of the other Ferraris retired from the race due to gearbox issues, perhaps an opportunity lost for the Italian. Ascari went on to win the next two races for Ferrari at the German and Italian Grand Prix at Nürburgring and Monza, as the Alfa Romeos were stricken with mechanical issues. The team had made a mighty comeback to keep their championship hopes alive with two of their drivers heading into the last race in the Barcelona streets, but early season form meant that Fangio was still 2 points ahead. Ascari would need to finish in the top two and wait for Fangio to finish behind him to snatch the championship, and Gonzalez had an outside chance. But the Argentine didn't leave it to luck, as he won the race and got the point for the fastest lap as well. So Fangio won the championship in the Alfa Romeo, but would the final few races be a sign of a possible changing of the guard to Ferrari in 1952? I'll see you for the 1952 season.